So it's the morning of your exam, and this exam is this afternoon. So if you are watching this recorded, then you're probably going to think, well, okay, either it's still okay this afternoon, you've got time, or you're going to think, well, okay, I should have been subscribed so that I saw this on the morning, so that I saw the live feeds I've been doing for the last 2 days on the way up to this exam. I'll be back to do a live feed for you before paper 2, and I'm going to do one over half term as well. So stay tuned for that. If you're A-level physics, then I'll be doing this type of thing on the run up to your exams as well. I really hope it's been useful. It was really nice to spend the kind of time with you guys and asking questions. I just wanted to do this quick video to make sure that you've all got access to the live feeds from last night. So they're all in the description. Have a little look. There's a live feed where I go through 5 kind of key areas that I think will come up in this exam or are key in this exam. Also, there's some Edexcel questions, there's some Eduqas questions, and there's some OCR Gateway questions. And there are playlists, full playlists for OCR and full playlists for AQA as well, paper 1. So this morning, don't stress out, okay? Don't just spend the time, get in your head into gear, do a bit of memory work, make sure that you know your equations and they're ready to go, that type of thing. This is not the morning where you're going to spend and you're going to get your head around something that you've been struggling through for 2 years. So don't please really stress yourself out this morning. You just need to get there feeling good about it, having some of those things that you need to memorise right at the front of your knowledge. Okay, front of your head, ready to go. I'm just going to do as well, somebody asked me about Newton's law right at the end of the video last night, right? And I only did 2 laws, so I'm going to really quickly run through 2 laws. Also, there's a lot of people asking last night for acceleration practical, so I've just put together a video on an acceleration practical question. So that's, it's going to be published, it's actually still just uploading in the background. So it's going to be published in just a little while. So check that out. The link's just there as well. It'll be up in like half an hour or something like that. Okay, so Newton's laws. Okay, first law. This is the quickest run through I've ever done of these. Okay, that's Newton 2. First law simply states that if the sum of the forces equals 0, then the acceleration equals 0. So this just says that a body will continue to do what it was doing. It will continue straight line, same rate of same speed, same direction, unless acted on by an external force. Okay, so that's what the algebra means. That's the way I remember it. Newton's first law simply states if the resultant force is 0, then the acceleration is 0. So that's a nice easy one. And there's a little free body diagram with equal forces in either direction, and they sum to 0. Yeah, this all applies to all exam boards today. Okay, I think you've all got Newton's laws in them today. Okay, so Newton's second law is the sum of the forces equal to ma. So basically, the resultant force is proportional to acceleration. Okay, that's what that means. In some exam boards, you need to use it as this. The resultant force is also defined as a rate of change in momentum. And that's a really useful one because if we extend the time of something, we reduce the force. Okay, so this is a free body diagram with a resultant force. There's a larger force in this direction than in this direction, so the body's going to accelerate in that direction. And the size of that acceleration is proportional to the resultant force. Okay, not this force, but the difference between them. The sum of the forces, the resultant force. So Newton's first and second law deal with resultant forces or not acting on one body. But Newton 3, which is where I didn't get as far as last night, okay, is acting on 2 bodies, talking about equal but opposite forces on 2 different bodies. Okay, so you've got to make sure that you recognise the difference between Newton's first and second law, talking about resultant force on one body, and Newton's third law, talking about forces equal but opposite to each other on 2 different bodies. And the way I write that in algebra is the force from A to B is equal but opposite, the minus means opposite, to the force from B to A. So A does a force on B, that's that one there. So B does a force on A, which is equal but opposite to that. Now, importantly for Newton's third law, it can cause acceleration because although they're equal but opposite, if you just look at one of the bodies, okay, it has a resultant force on it. So that's why we can use it to propel our rockets, or when we walk along the ground, we push onto the ground then pushes on us. When a car tyre rotates, it pushes on the ground, so the ground pushes on us. They're examples of Newton's third law pairs. So my main advice to you is to think, am I dealing with a resultant force on one body? In that case, I'm going to apply Newton's second law or Newton's first law, or am I dealing with a force on 2 different bodies? In that case, I'm going to apply Newton 3. Okay, I hope that really helps. That was just because I didn't quite get that far last night. Just a quick reminder what this video is all about. Just a really quick one because today is your exam. Make sure that you're subscribed if you're seeing this later. because I'll be doing this type of thing on the run up to paper 2 as well the week after half term, and I'll do a little live feed for you to ask questions as well during the half term. There are loads of playlists and the live feeds from last night where I do 5 key areas that you might struggle with, and those 5 key areas were models of the atom, momentum, laws, electrical circuits, and half-life, which is in one of the exam boards. There is a playlist, there's a link to, in the description, Edexcel Questions, Eduqas Questions, OCR Questions, and an AQA playlist, and some other combined science questions as well. So there's loads for you to be doing. Don't stress out this morning, just sit calmly, do some memory work, make sure that your equations are there ready to go, make sure that you kind of watch those videos and you're thinking just about how I solve the problems, okay? Getting ready to solve the same type of problems yourself in the exam. It's not about memorising the answers, it's about memorising the way that you solve the problems. And the last thing to say is if there's any kind of specific areas, then there are playlists on just the front page of my channel, and there are playlists for all different areas. Why don't you come back afterwards and just let me know, just leave a little comment on any one of my videos or on my channel somewhere, and let me know how the exam went. I know it's going to go okay, because if you're watching Guerrilla Physics, then you're the type of person that's well prepared and you are ready to go. So I don't wish you luck, because you won't need it, because you are well prepared. Remember, you have been preparing for these exams for 2, maybe 3 years now. Okay, you have put that work in, you're ready for this. Just go and show that paper what you can do. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you afterwards.